Although it might not be an easy talk, it's such an important one. We're talking about end-of-life arrangements. Licensed funeral directors Bruce Keating-McClelland and Holly Price-Jensen join us now from Considerate Cremation and Burial Services in St. Catharines. And the best time to make end-of-life planning is long before.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
And ideally, like when you're healthy.
Yes.
And because if you're facing a terminal illness, sometimes that daunting task of having to make end-of-life arrangements, it only adds to the stress.
Absolutely. More stressful, a little more awkward for the family to navigate that while trying to help their loved one through an illness. So it's really important to have that discussion at some point with family and have a plan in place. And let your family know exactly what you want. Do you want burial? Do you want cremation? And what does that look like? Does that incorporate a visitation or a service? The cremation rate in the Niagara region right now has really skyrocketed. More and more people are opting for cremation, but people may want to have a little memorial service or something. So it's good to talk about these things and have a plan in place.
Right. And Bruce, you do prepaying and pre-planning. And what's the difference there?
That's correct, yes. Pre-planning is putting your wishes on paper with your family, bringing them into us, ask questions, get some direction in that capacity to the funeral provider of your choice. And that's just having things recorded. Pre-arranging is prepaying, locking in the price at today's rate for need in the future down the road, whenever that would be.
Okay. And you two, between the two of you, you've got like 50 years in the funeral funeral field. You've seen all the changes, right? From where it used to go 3 days of visitation and always a burial to now, as you say, so many cremations.
Absolutely, yeah. Huge increase in cremations and people wanting to do their own gatherings outside of a funeral provider. That's grown a lot too. We support that. It's more meaningful for families. And if that's their wish, we fully support that.
Right. And you talked about earlier in the commercial break how important it is for families at the end to have that, okay, this is what mom or dad or whoever wanted. Not one saying, oh, what a cremation. No, pretty sure it was a burial, right?
Yes.
That can be a big thing, especially if there's multiple children in the family or multiple people that are the executors that have different ideas because they've had different conversations with no written plan. So it can be challenging.
Right. Finding a lot more, like it used to be odd to have a celebration of life, but now it's almost like the norm.
Becoming that way, yes. People find it a bit easier, primarily due to the fact that not many families anymore are church families. So therefore, religious rites predicated funeral services over time. With people not going to church as much anymore, it's kind of pulled away a little bit, and it's become more of a celebration of that person's life, not so much tied to the church aspect of life. Right,
right. And you handle all, I think, you don't realize until you've had a death in the family how much paperwork there is.
Correct.
And you, as a service, handle that as well.
We do. We assist the family from the very first phone call right to the very end with helping them with the paperwork. And we have a comprehensive checklist which assists the family with all the tasks that have to be done once someone passes away.
Okay, so we've got about a minute left. How does somebody watching who has not made any plans, whether it's your company or any other, how do you start that conversation? Should it be like you asking your parents, or should it be your parents maybe saying, this is what I want? I'm okay now, but this is...
Both.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of families come in and say, well, my kids have been after me to get this done. And they've told us that we want to get this, that we should get this done for them and for each other, and to eliminate any risks of confusion down the road for me and my siblings.
Right.
So a lot of it comes about that way. And it comes about starting with having a will, having a power of attorney. All those things are very important to establish your plan so that it's carried out the way you wish it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that at the time, whether it's a death that's expected or a sudden death, the family that's left behind just has time to grieve, not worry about a business transaction.
Exactly.
That's correct, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we appreciate people who pre-plan, prepay. It does alleviate that stress from their family.
Okay. Okay, we'll get the links up to your business then and your services up at our website, chch.com/morninglive. Thank you for getting those conversations started.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for allowing us to share the information.